Okay, I'm going to talk for a minute about intervals. And normally, beginners work down here in the beginning of the neck, but we're going to show this up here at the what I call fifth position. We're going to use a G-form scale, a C major scale, because that's going to be one of the handiest scales to use when you start improvising. Here's my C, and if you look at the diagram, you'll see that I'm at the 8th fret on the low E string, and that gives me a C. The next note in a C major scale is the D. Now the distance from C to D is a major second. Now, since I'm going to the next string, it might not be obvious that I'm going up a whole step, 2 half steps. But if I go from C to this D, you can see I've gone up 2 frets. C, C sharp or D flat, D. Okay, C to a C sharp or D flat. C to D flat is a minor second. C to D is a major second. A minor second is 1 half step. A major second is 2 half steps, which makes 1 whole step. The distance from C to E flat is a minor third. That's a step and a half. And the distance from C to E is a major third, 2 whole steps. Now you can see that's a hard stretch. That's a 4 fret stretch. That's why we use this scale form. There's my C to a D. There's my major second. There's my major third. Here's my minor third. C, D, E flat, that's my minor third, there's my major third. Here's my fourth. Now fourths are neither major nor minor, they're perfect. That's a perfect fourth. If I go down 1 fret, I'm not on a minor fourth, I'm on a major third. Okay, now so we go the root, which goes to the 2nd note of the scale, and that distance is a major second. So we go 1, 2, 3, that's the 3rd degree of the scale, but it's also a major third. The interval is the distance from here to there. That's a major third. But this is also the 3rd degree of the scale. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the 4th note of the scale, and that interval is a perfect 4th. And if I were to go up 1 half step, that's an augmented 4th or a diminished 5th. But that note's not in the scale. But you'll hear that interval. A diminished 5th or an augmented 4th. It's also called a tritone. It's halfway in the middle of this whole scale, but it's not part of the scale. So root to the 2nd note of the scale is a major second. Root to the 3rd note of the scale is a major third. Root to the 4th note is a perfect 4th. Root to the 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a perfect 5th. 4ths and 5ths are perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a major 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minor 6 would be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's our major 7. And there's our octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So here's an octave. Here's a 7. That's a major 7. Here's a 6. And here's the 5th, the 4th, the 3rd, the 2nd. Now the interval is the distance from the root to the 2nd note of the scale. That's the 2nd degree of the scale, but the interval is not that note. The interval is the distance from there to there. So intervals are a distance, and the degrees of the scale are the actual note. The numbers might confuse you, because if I talk about the 2nd note of the scale, that's a D, but if I talk about a major second, the distance from D to E is also a major second, but I'm no longer talking about the 2nd note of the scale. The distance from D to F is a minor third. But it's not the 3rd note of the scale. C, D, E, F, there's a minor third. Okay, and then E, F, G, that's also a minor third. From E, that's a minor third, but it's not the 3rd note of the scale. So intervals can be the distance between notes. The degrees of the scale can be referenced by number or by name.